I'm Lynn Brooks.
And I'm Philip Coleman. Tonight on WVUA News at 6.
It's been 3 months since the EF4 tornado ripped through the heart of Tuscaloosa. I'm Matt McCoy, and coming up, I'll walk with the mayor to find out where the city stands now.
And it's been 4 years since family members last saw this Tuscaloosa woman. So where is the case today? But first, tonight's top story. It's been 3 months since the devastating tornado ripped a path through the city of Tuscaloosa.
And now the city is taking steps to move Tuscaloosa forward into the next phase of its recovery.
WVUA's Matt McCoy met with Mayor Maddox today about where the city stands now.
When you look at our recovery and you compare it against other cities, not only in what happened in Alabama, what's happened throughout the last 5 to 10 years, you will see that Tuscaloosa is so far ahead.
On April 26th, most people in Tuscaloosa would have never imagined lives would have been changed so drastically the next day. Many probably also wouldn't have imagined what the next 3 months would hold.
Think about it. 91 days ago, when the tornado struck, Tuscaloosa had never engaged in such a transformational process. So we've moved with an intensity of effort that's been unmatched. And I'm very proud of it. And I'm proud of it because it's been citizen-driven.
But what about citizens who don't agree with the direction the city is going in its rebuilding efforts?
Stay involved, stay in tune to what we're doing. None of us are naive and believe that every single recommendation is going to be universally endorsed. There's no way that it will be. But what we have committed to is a transparent and open plan that gives everyone an opportunity for input.
As of today, nearly 70% of the debris has been cleaned up from Tuscaloosa. But when you see piles like this around me, it makes you wonder. Well, the city says that has to do with private property, and private property owners have to be the one to clear this debris. But the city says it's willing to take the next step.
There's so many complex issues dealing with your insurance company. In some cases, you have owners who live out of town, but we're 3 months in. And quite frankly, I think it's time to move forward.
Right.
And so it's important now that if there is no plan and we can't see any progress, we're gonna force the issue. You don't want to do it.
But something that has to be done.
It has to be done.
Realistically, how long are we looking before we see Tuscaloosa without a drop of debris, without any remembrance, I guess, or signs of the tornado?
I think you'll always see places in Tuscaloosa that will remind us of what happened on that day. And in some ways, that's probably not a bad thing, because it ties us into something in this community that on one way is horrific, but on the other hand is very special about how we responded.
Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Matt McCoy, WVUA News.
For more information about Tuscaloosa's recovery plan and any numbers you might need as you rebuild, go to our website, WVUATV.com, click numbers and links. And just in time for this 3-month milestone, Tuscaloosa's tornado-related death toll has grown to 47. The 3 latest victims, 83-year-old Robert Gene Hicks, 80-year-old Helen Kemp, and 88-year-old Reverend Lee Andrew Lee. Also, FEMA's Disaster Loan Outreach Center inside Tuscaloosa City Hall's annex closes tomorrow, but you can call FEMA 1-800-621-3362. That spells FEMA. The Alabama Association for Justice is also offering free legal help to anyone affected by this spring's storms. Anyone who suffered damage is eligible. To register, go to our website, click numbers and links, then click Alabama Association for Justice. You can also call 334-262-4974. And as Alabama recovers from the April storms, we are still looking for your stories about loss, survival, and resilience. To share your own personal storm story, go to WVUATV.com. Click on the graphic on the right side of the homepage. It says Alabama Tornadoes. We're also interested in seeing the pictures and video you may have shot after the storms.
New for you at 6, the reason why drivers along 15th Street in Tuscaloosa saw a giant Taco Bell sauce packet. It's not just about the fun, it's about giving back. Taco Bell restaurants throughout the Southeast raise money to present a $300,000 check to the West Alabama chapter of the American Red Cross. From June 1st through July 18th, the restaurants asked customers to donate their spare change toward disaster relief. And Taco Bell's parent companies also chipped in.
Well, we believe that one of our responsibilities is to be a caring partner in our communities. And when you look around at the devastation that happened here in Tuscaloosa, where we have several stores, and throughout our southeast area where we were damaged, we realized that we needed to do something to give back. And
making great progress, and with friends like Taco Bell making $300,000 presentations, we're quickly closing that gap, trying to ensure that we're ready for the next disaster.
And a check of the same value was donated today to the Taco Bell in Cleveland, Tennessee, which also suffered severe storm damage.
One Tuscaloosa family is still looking for their loved one 4 years after her disappearance. Lisa Ann Green's family last saw her 4 years ago on July 27, 2007. She was seen at a Food World in Cottondale on surveillance video. Investigators are still looking for leads as to where Lisa Ann Green might be. Green's father, G.C. Skipper, says he is still looking for any answers and not giving up the search for his daughter.
And so what we're hoping at this point is to get some sort of leads. Maybe after 4 years somebody remembers something, and if so, just take a phone call, regardless of how small it is.
If you have any information on what may have happened to Lisa Ann Green, you can make a confidential call to Crime Stoppers, 205-752-STOP. You can also call the Tuscaloosa Police Criminal Investigation Division, 205-248-2520. A community college and a university in West Alabama are both facing problems with their accreditation. Shelton State Community College and the University of West Alabama are now on probation with the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. The two schools allegedly failed to show compliance with the agency's standards. UWA's next review is December. Shelton's is in June of next year. Shelton State's president says the college has implemented a plan that SACS views more favorably and says he's optimistic about the next review. UWA says SACS wants more documentation, and the university expects the probation to be lifted in December.
A Tuscaloosa man is facing armed robbery charges stemming from a robbery that happened back on April 26. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Birmingham says 21-year-old Richard Patton Jr. is charged with armed robbery of the Tuscaloosa Credit Union in Northport, and he's also charged with brandishing a firearm during the robbery. The U.S. Attorney's Office says the maximum prison term for robbery of a credit union is 25 years, and punishment for brandishing a firearm during the robbery is at least 7 years consecutive to any sentence of that robbery count.